Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Bleach Chapter 506 review. Now, before I get started with the actual summary, when it comes to this chapter, I liked it. I really like this chapter a lot. I love it. Why? Because we have been waiting so many years. I mean, I can't even, since the introduction of Yamamoto in the Bleach series, people have always been wondering, what is this guy's Bankai? And finally, we're getting, finally, Tite Kubo is giving the people what they wanted. Yamamoto's Bankai. I'm like, yes! Why? Because Yamamoto is the strongest, and he claims to himself that no Soul Reaper, no Shinigami born within 1,000 years is stronger than he was. No Shinigami. Meaning that if he is the current strongest Shinigami, this means that he must have the current strongest Bankai. And I want to see how strong his Bankai is. Because a lot of people stated that even though, a lot of people claim that Yamamoto is weaker than Dangai / Mugetsu Ichigo, I don't believe that. I believe that Yamamoto is, in his Shikai base state, is as strong as Mugetsu. And I believe that his Bankai, which makes him 5 to 10 times stronger, that solidifies his position as the strongest Soul Reaper born within 1,000 years. Even stronger than, I'm pretty sure, a majority of the members of the Royal Court Guard Squad, assuming that they don't have members that exceed over 1,000 years. Because as of right now, because they are the Royal Court Guard Squad, so maybe they have some members who have lived longer than 1,000 years before Yamamoto, was known as the strongest Shinigami. That's what I'm thinking. Because otherwise, the Yamamoto himself, it's kind of weird. Let me say that for a discussion video. If I ever decide to do a discussion video based on the Royal Court Guard Squad, I'll get into it in that video. But right now, when it comes to this chapter summary, right, basically starts off with that one Quincy with the glasses fighting against Kyoraku. And he's talking about, basically he got cut by Kyoraku. And, because Kyoraku is now more motivated since Genryusai is, motivating everyone around him. His Reiatsu is influencing other Shinigami to perform better. And then what happens is that the other guy with the glasses, he states that, you are not the only one to be motivated when your boss is in the battlefield. And then we see the next scene we see Yamamoto, and Yamamoto is surrounded by 3 Quincy. The first one, I believe, is the guy who was fighting Rose. And I'm assuming that he beat Rose since he is coming down here, which is one of the bad sides. So I'll say right now, this chapter overall, it's okay. It's honestly, I love this chapter, but it's okay chapter because there were a lot of things that negated the positive Bankai release of Yamamoto, and this is one of them. I believe his name is Na. Na 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 na. Hey. Yeah, that's right. Goodbye. Okay. Na. This guy, Ashnot, and the guy with the Quincy with the mohawk, and I believe people are saying that he's Buster B. I'm not too sure. In my opinion, he's Mohawk guy. But basically, they come down and they sneak attack Yamamoto. And I'm like, oh shit. Shit got real. So now I'm thinking, okay, so now I'm thinking that it's going to be 4-on-1. However, Kyoraku states that, well, that's a miscalculation because regular logic does not apply to Old Man Yana. And then the next scene we see is a giant flame pillar, and then bam, Ashnot is charred to cinders. I'm like, whoa. Well, it appears that Ashnot has died, as well as Buster B and Na. I'm pretty sure. See, and the reason why this is bad in a sense is not really Ashnot, but when it comes to the other 2 Quincy's, Buster B and Na, we haven't seen them fight, nor have we seen them go into complete holy form. So it's like, what the fuck? Because like you would think that these Quincy would be a lot better off sneak attacking Yamamoto with complete holy form activated, as opposed. Well, then again, if that was the case, then it wouldn't be a sneak attack. But still, it's like these Quincy's have complete holy forms, and yet a lot of these Quincy's are being taken out without us ever seeing their complete holy forms. So picture Kyoraku and Ukitake dying towards the end of the series, and we never see their Bankais. You know, like it's the same comparison. So, in my opinion, that was a huge negative, because it really was. Now, what happens next is after Yamamoto takes care of those 3 Star Knights, he goes after, Buckbeard. Or no, should I say, I think it's Yhwach back now. Yeah. Is it Yhwach back or Yhwach Bach? I'm not too sure which one you prefer. Whatever. Let me just call him Yhwach and be done with that, alright? Or, Yhwach, alright? So basically, he attacks Yhwach. And what happens here is that this is pretty cool, because, well, it's not cool, but it caught my attention. Because what happens here is, Yamamoto attacks Yhwach, and then he says, there you go again, Yhwach, your nasty habit of thinking nothing of your subordinates. Now this notifies me that apparently in the past 1,000 years ago, Yhwach had subordinates, which could have meant or mean that there was some kind of bond or some kind of coalition between the Quincy and the Shinigami, where they actually worked together in order to accomplish their goals or tasks. Or maybe Yhwach himself was a Shinigami and then became a Quincy. I'm not too sure. But this lets me know that Yhwach was the leader of some type of group 1,000 years ago that Yamamoto himself was aware of. So either he became a Quincy and was former a Shinigami, or the Quincy's at some point worked with the Shinigami in the past before the rebellion that occurred 800 years later. That's what I'm assuming. Because, otherwise, why would he say that you have a nasty habit of thinking nothing of your subordinates? So it has to be the case. Either one of those two cases. And then after that we see, because he attacks Yhwach, and then he actually, blocks it with his hand, which is very impressive. However, his hand gets cut. And we all know that when Kenpachi attacked, Yhwach blocked that shit, nothing happened. But Yamamoto, he blocked that shit, his hand gets cut. So what happens here is that, Yhwach's talking some more smack about how, you're enraged, and, it kind of reminisces the old days when you were in your youth, even though he still had like a bald head, which is kind of weird because we see that picture of his youth. He's still bald in his youth, so it's kind of weird. Very, very strange. But Yamamoto attacks, and then what happens is that we see a picture or a panel of the Quincy emblem, or the medallion that seals the Shinigami's Bankais. And what happened, I'm not too sure what happened here, but either Yamamoto attacked and he destroyed the medallion, or Yhwach grabbed the medallion before it got hit by Yamamoto's sword, and then the medallion itself turned into a sword. I'm not too sure if that's what happened, but in the next panel, after we see Yamamoto attacking Yhwach, the pendant or the medallion that was on Yhwach's side is no longer there, and now we see him holding a sword. So what I believed happened is that the pendant that Yhwach had transformed into a sword or a Zanpakuto. That's what I believe. Because either that or Yamamoto destroyed the pendant. Because remember, Yamamoto, he knows that these Quincy can steal a person's Bankai. So why would Yamamoto risk using his Bankai if he didn't have a surefire way, or he knew that Yhwach could not steal his Bankai? Maybe Yamamoto is also an exception to the rule. I'm not too sure as to why he would be. But as of right now, it's more speculation. But then we see him holding a sword in his hand, and then Yamamoto's like, finally, it's finally out, because now I can crush you at my full force. And then we see him perform. What happens is that the flames all around him extinguish, gone, just gone. And Yhwach, this is the first time I've seen Yhwach have like a shocked face. Like he was actually stunned. Like shocked. Like the flames have extinguished. And then Yamamoto says, Bankai. I was like, yes. I was like, yes. And then we see him say the Zankai no Tachi, which translates as the long sword of the enduring flame. And that there is the end of the chapter. A big cliffhanger. Now, I'm hoping that next week they continue with Yamamoto's Bankai release. I pray that they do not go back to Hueco Mundo. Save Hueco Mundo for after Yamamoto's taken care of. If, in fact, he loses or dies. Well, I'm assuming that Yamamoto's going to lose. Even though he has his own Bankai, I'm assuming. Because these Quincy, I believe, are the final villains of this arc. I don't see any other villains superseding the Quincy, especially in the last arc. The only thing I can see happening is if maybe Uryu goes rogue, and for some reason Uryu is like mad fucking powerful now, which I would have no idea as to how that is. But I mean, that's the only thing I can see. In my opinion, Buckbeard right now is the final villain of the series. So him dying this early, or him being defeated this early to Yamamoto, even though Yamamoto's going Bankai, it wouldn't make that much sense. Since Kubo himself stated that this is going to be his longest arc yet. So, that being said, this chapter, overall, it's okay. The Bankai release is great, but overall, the fact that these 3 Star Knights got see, Asnot is okay, by my opinion. Because, well, not okay, but Asnot, he took out Byakuya, which was some crazy-ass shit. So he did enough, in my opinion. But Nanana and Buster B, those two, I mean, especially Buster B, because that motherfucker did nothing. We saw him do absolutely nothing, and he got taken out. So, but overall, again, I love this chapter, but when it comes from a structural standpoint, it is okay. So that being said, I will see you guys later. Be sure to rate, comment, and as always, subscribe. And now I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day.